Hey girls, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to the True Feminine Show. If you are new around here, my name is Rachel and I'm a dating and relationship coach, and I talk all things dating and relationships, masculine and feminine energy, the psychology of men, the inner work, and all things femininity. If those topics interest you and you feel like you need help up-leveling your dating life, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos around these things. And if you have other topic ideas that you would love to hear me discuss, talk on, or teach about, be sure to drop those in the comments. Without further ado, I want to dive right into today's juicy topic, which is how your inner voice may be keeping you from attracting and having a successful dating life. And here's why. Okay, well, before I jump into here's why, I have a list of bullet points to give you. I want to just clarify a couple of things. I run a big program called the True Feminine Academy, and I see hundreds of women a year inside of there. And something that we spend a lot of time on is working on rewiring your brain, working on rewiring your belief system, rewiring the way that you see the world, the way that you see men. Why is this important? It's super important to do this because our entire lives we have been told, well, not told straight told to us directly, but we have been conditioned to believe certain things around men, around love, around what's possible for you. And that all began really with the voices that were in your head and all around the atmosphere that you lived in. For example, let's start with your parental figures or whoever raised you. Those people, what they said, what they were saying about men, about love, about things, the friends that you have, what they were saying, the TV shows that you've watched, maybe the articles that you're reading, all of these things have shaped what you believe to be true about love and about men because it has been a repetitive thought. Another way that our beliefs can be shaped is through experiences that had strong emotions attached to them. This is an example of this would just be trauma. Okay, most humans have had form or level of trauma in our lives. And if we experience trauma, what's happening is that we are experiencing a huge jolt of feeling, right? Feelings, this big, huge feeling comes up. And if trauma is usually associated with negative things, you are now having this big emotion happen, which then creates this neural pathway inside of you. So an example of this could be your parents getting divorced, or maybe you were around parents who always yelled at each other, or a dad or mom who maybe said mean things to you, maybe bullied you once. Okay, we usually always remember those. Why do we remember them? Because a strong emotion was attached to that moment, to that experience. So what I often try to teach women is teaching them how to attach a more positive, strong feeling emotion to the things that you actually want. Because when we have a strong feeling emotion that takes place, it's usually that we remember, it etches inside of us, right? When we remember something, when we recall something, that thought usually plays out in our head over and over. This is why when we get rejected from a man or anyone experiences rejection, we're feeling this strong jolt, like this big feeling inside of us, and it doesn't feel good. We ruminate and we repeat that story, that same narrative over and over. We ask the question, why did that happen to me? How could he do that? Was I not good enough? And now that becomes your inner voice. Who's ever going to love me next? So we now create a new inner dialogue that we tend to play out over and over again. When we have a certain dialogue inside of us, we tend to be drawn to or attracted to that same story for numerous reasons. One is we want to make that story right again, but two, it's familiar to us. And there's a lot of other reasons too, but these are just some basics for you to comprehend. Could you imagine what I'm saying when I say that your inner voice plays a huge part in whether or not you are successful in your dating life or lacking success or feeling like things just never work out for you? Well, I'm going to dive into my numbers here because I want to keep myself on track. But if you are interested in diving way deeper into this and transforming your love life, I run a 10-week program called the True Femme Academy, and doors for that I think are closed right now. Always check the link below to get on the wait list or to sign up if it's open. Let's dive in. Number one, The unconscious part of your brain is recording all things that are being said. So I want you to think of your unconscious, the unconscious part of your brain. Notice how I'm saying that. It's a part of your brain. Our brain and our minds, they're really profound, right, and intricate. But we have this conscious part that's like, okay, I know this is happening. And then we have that autopilot mode, the things that are stored underneath. So sub being underneath. So your subconscious, I want you to think of is like the storage unit of your brain. It's collecting and storing data. But here's what I want to ask you. What data do you think it is collecting and storing? It's collecting and storing the words that you say, the things that you repeat. It's recording. It's like playing as a recorder. Here's an example. Let's say you're like, wow, dating is hard. Men don't seem to like me. There's no good guys. There's no guys like this. There's no guys who believe what I believe and who are good guys and who are still single. It just seems like this never works out for me. It feels like the ball's always going to drop. You know what? He asked me on a date, but he'll probably not ask me on a second date. He'll probably not ask me on another date. I don't even think I'm that pretty. There's other girls who are prettier than me. Okay. The list goes on and on and on. Okay. I'm getting too old. I want you to think about all the negative things that you say over and over and over and over and over again inside of your head. And I want you to consider every single time you say something negative, you voice that, it now becomes a belief, which leads me to number 2. What you say enough times becomes a belief inside of you. So what you say, what you repeat enough times in a row now form a belief inside of you around what is possible for you, what is the truth and what is not. It's really, really important for you to catch yourself and ask yourself, what are my beliefs around men, dating, love, and romance? Like what are they actually? If I actually was an outsider listening into my inner voice, my inner dialogue, and imagine this, you had to listen to your voice as an outsider listening in and you were typing everything it said. If you looked at that paper after you typed everything you said, what would you find on that piece of paper? Would you find, I'm beautiful, men love me, dating is so easy, it's becoming so easy for me, it gets easier and easier, there's attractive, good, amazing men all around me, commitment ready men all around me, they love pursuing me? Would it say that? Or would it say more of, this never works out for me? It's like, I'm too old. I'm past my time. I'm too damaged. This isn't going to work. What you are voicing, what you are saying, what you are repeatedly saying and feeling is forming a new neural pathway inside of your brain. It's like a line being etched inside of you. Number 3 I have for you is what we believe to be true is what we act out, what we tend to seek out, and often what we even tend to attract to us. Do you see the sequence lining up here? Okay. I have a thought. I vocalize that thought. Maybe I repeat that thought again and again in my head. I'm saying it inside. It's now being stored. And now I keep saying it over and over. I keep reliving it. Now I'm attracted to that same story and narrative again. Oh, now I'm drawing in the same kind of guy, in the same patterns. I'm continuing to repeat my same avoidant tendencies or self-sabotage. And now, because I believe this to be true about men, that all men cheat, that all men aren't good enough, that they don't like commitment, that no guy over a certain age wants to marry again, and blah, 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 all those things. Now it's like my mind, that is top of mind for me. And it is what I continue to see. It's what I continue to even be drawn into. I just want you to ask yourself again, what inner voice have I been repeating that has now become a belief that I am now acting out, I'm seeking out, or I'm drawing into me? That is what I want you to ask yourself. What is it that I am saying to myself? How am I talking on the inside? Because how many times do we think a lot of negative things, but we never vocalize them like out loud? We don't tell people like, oh, I'm really depressed. I really just don't like my life right now. No guys seem to like me. I'm too fat. I'm too this, whatever. When we're hanging out with our friends, a lot of times we're not saying those things, but your subconscious is still hearing. It still hears what you said, and it still begins to store that narrative. It's actually up to you. The question becomes, how do I shift this? It's up to you to take inventory. This is my homework for you. Take some inventory on what your inner voice is saying. It's the health of your inner voice. Maybe jot things down. Notice what was the predominant thought of your day. I'm so tired. This is so hard. It's so stressful. Everything's not working out. If it turns out to be that, like mostly negative, I want you to then spend time to intentionally take 1, 2, 3, or 4 different affirmations that you may not feel connected to yet, but I want you to intentionally try to say them at least 3 times a day. Maybe around breakfast, you say those 3 affirmations. Then at lunch, you remember, say those 3 affirmations. Then in the afternoon at dinner, you say those 3 affirmations. And maybe before bed, you remind yourself, I have to speak different. I need to bring a different feeling, a different thought. If we repeat enough, we have the ability to reshape our thoughts, which reshape our beliefs, which reshape what shows up for us. I've seen this happen so many times. The girls who take this extremely seriously are oftentimes the ones who are literally getting married right now. Like they're getting in serious relationships, they're getting a ring, they're getting married. It's amazing. The health of your inner voice really, really matters. If you change your words, you will change your life. I want you to say that to yourself. Wow, if I change my words, I can change my life. Your words do have power, and you need to be careful how you voice them, what you say, what is the narrative around dating. I'm actually going to wrap us up there. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Let me know if this has impacted you, inspired you in any way. Let me know if you have some more questions about it. I'd love to see you in the comments and help you down there. And if you love this video, give it a like. And if you want more videos like this, subscribe and check out my free resource in the show notes and different ways that you can find me and find more teachings and ways to work with me. I love you girls, and I'm rooting for you. You have much more power than you realize. So much power within you to shift many things in your world, including your dating life. I see hundreds of girls going from stuck to completely liberated in freedom and finding the most amazing man and changing and transforming their lives. And if they can do it, if I can do it, you can do it too. All right. Love you girls. See you on the next video. Bye.